Hey, what's going on, everybody? Tom for Tom's Randomness. Tom's Gold Dirt. Get your gold dirt here, and TM45169 on Whatnot, where I sell things like this. We'll talk about that later. Today is Veterans Day, so I want to say a huge thank you to all the veterans out there, past and present. Our nation would not be safe or free without the warriors defending it, so I am greatly and forever appreciative of anyone out there willing to sign up and make those sacrifices and commitments. So thank you so much. Today we are concluding a little fundraiser for Tunnels to Towers at midnight tonight. If you want to purchase a bag of Tom's Gold Dirt, 10% of that will go to tunnelstotowers.org. We'll be sending that tomorrow. Today's a holiday, obviously, but we'll accumulate and send out 10% of everything that comes in through midnight tonight. So if you want to be part of that, if you're not interested in gold dirt, I can also send you coins. So you can participate in that way. Send whatever value you feel comfortable with, and 10% of that, just, if you send $50, I'll send $5. If you send $100, I'll send $10. If you send $15 million, I will do the math. That'd be 1.5. Anyway, I'm just kidding. So I'm going to showcase one coin for this video just to make it more, because you guys know I like to talk more. But today's day is truly about the veterans, and I appreciate each and every single one of you. I don't know what else to say about that. I just truly am grateful to live in this free country, and did my small part, and I appreciate everybody else that does what they do to keep it that way, right? So, we just survived another election year, and I'm glad that's behind us. And now we get to remember why we are able to vote, right? Why we're free. And it's because of the men and women who bear arms to defend us against all the evil that's out there. And it's hard not to get, emotional about that. We live in the best country in the world. And if you disagree, that's your right. Guess what? Because you live in a free country. Anyway, let's talk about something else before I get really emotional and grateful and all that gratitude stuff starts flowing out of this, whatever, the ceiling starts leaking. But in all seriousness, I do appreciate each and every single one of you. Just know that, okay? This coin is a really interesting coin. This is a 1924 MS64 Plus peace dollar. And it's got a little interesting tidbit on the back here that I think might be a struck through. You can kind of see it right there. It looks, kind of dark, but it's actually kind of like a divot in the coin. And really, the focal point isn't this coin. It's more so if that is a struck through, right? So if that's a struck through, that's an error, and that makes this a little bit more valuable. Now, I'm going to sell it as an MS64 Plus because I am not an expert. But if I had to wager, I would say it's very highly probable that's a struck through. But nonetheless, so struck through, that's what we're talking about here, right? The exciting part. Is an occurrence that happens when something blocks it blocks the coins. So when something gets in the die. So it could be grease, it could be debris, it could be wire, it could be any number of things. I've seen some really cool struck through errors on Trader B, on Whatnot. Even Silver Eagles, modern Silver Eagles, where a piece of wire gets into the device fields on the die. The devices or the fields on the die, and it's stuck there. So when it goes and imparts on the planchet the imagery, that piece of material blocks the metal from flowing into the die and leaves a design on the coin that is, reminiscent of whatever that was. So if it's a piece of wire, you'll see a little line in the coin that looks like a perfect little round divot in the coin's planchet. If it's struck through grease, the fields will, not the fields, but the devices will be kind of blah, blah, blah. They can be like no FGs, for example, or the lettering could be like faint, all those types of things. And I think they're very interesting. And no two coins are just like you or I. No two people are the same. And it's just something that it just makes the hobby a little bit more interesting, right? Error coins in general are pretty fun. You can find them out there. Some of them are more common than others, off-center planchet strikes and lamination errors. There's so many different ones out there. But if you ever come across anything unique, it's always fun to take a closer look because you just never know. You might have something worth a couple dollars. You might have something worth a couple $100, and in that case, you might have just struck gold. So with that said, thank you, veterans. Gold luck. God bless. And I'll see you all in the next one.